I think, it's so interesting because I think our generation grew up with social media.
Yeah.
Um, it can be a good thing and a bad thing. So it's a tool that can be used for positive things. Like, you see people like raising money, raising awareness about issues on social media, and you wouldn't ever get that much of an audience if not for, it's just a tap. Do you understand? And you can just connect with so many people across the world. So in that sense, it's amazing. And then you have the other side to it, which is extremely negative. And I think, unfortunately, you can't control. There's no gatekeeper that says you are ready for social media. And so everybody's on there, and unfortunately, people that shouldn't be on there because they're not ready. Almost like you're not securing yourself. So you go on for social media for validation. It's not, and the thing is, there's no gatekeeper to even decide what should and shouldn't be on there. What actually is safe. There's some crazy opinions on social media, and people are you don't realize how much you're internalizing by just scrolling through. Even if you don't agree, you've been exposed to it, something that you wouldn't have necessarily been exposed to, thought about. There's sometimes I'll go on social media and an opinion will come up that challenges my views completely, and then I stop to think, even if I don't accept that view, it's now a part of my thought process, and it could be dangerous. So it can be used for really positive things, but it can also be used for negative. And I think the other thing that people don't realize is I've been on holiday for the past, I'm not gonna post anything that went wrong in the past 4 days. I'm gonna only post a positive thing where I'm showing myself in the light that I'm having fun, I'm enjoying myself. And people don't take that into consideration. True. Which is a shame.
A few influencers put once in a while you see them put a post where they say, okay, my life is not as perfect as it may look. Sometimes they just wear, maybe they sit down, dress up, and then maybe they're even wearing PJs at the bottom,
you wouldn't know.
and all that. So they sometimes, once in a while, they come and actually say, this is not all real. We also have our real lives and real issues going on and all that. But I think it's also causing, I do agree with you, it's got a positive side, but it's also got so much negativity. People are getting depressed because image, it's like everybody, these influencers are helping us and killing us at the same time. They're showing us what we're supposed to be looking like, what we're supposed to have, where you can get. Sometimes it's really helpful. It's really, really helpful. There are things that I needed that I discovered online, and I was like, oh wow, this is really helpful. And there are other things that is and obviously you can't do anything about it because they're also, it's like their job, right? So you have to know where your limit starts. You have to draw the boundary. You have to draw the boundary at this point, because there's so much information. Instagram with the pictures, and
you need to be able to filter. But it goes back to identity, right? If you don't know who you are, you
get influenced by just anything.
Because it's not reality. It's a snapshot. It would be different if YouTubers had a camera in their house 24 hours, like Big Brother, rolling throughout.
You see a lot.
Then that's different, because then you truly see, because even when they do show the good, the bad is still being controlled, but it's still a controlled narrative of what they
it's not exactly what happens.
It's not exactly. So young people is probably
I think it's our job. Well, also, especially as I'm sure the guys are going through their own issues online,
but
the girls are also having a lot, because it's like we have to I have to step up my game. But what have I even been doing with my life all this while?
That pressure,
oh my god, this girl is only 21 and she's driving a G-Wagon. What do I do with my life? That kind of thing. It makes you question yourself. It can help you by stimulating you to
and
do
encouraging
more.
you, but then
it can also
but also understanding that everything is a process. Whatever it is that sometimes when I'm thinking about my life and what I want to do, I go back to the Bible and I look at people like David. I was listening to something about David yesterday, and he was anointed when he was young, and he became king 30 or something years later. but we hear about him when he defeated Goliath, and then we hear that he became king, and even in that, like, we don't appreciate the process he had to go. He was with Saul. He wanted to kill. Like, you don't think about the process, and that is the same in terms of like all these influences.
Yeah.
Like, if you look back, a lot of, and I think it's changed. So like when I watch people like Jackie Iron or Patricia Bright, they've been doing YouTube when I was in school
for a long time,
and now they're reaping the benefits and the fruits now.
Yeah, I was going to talk about Patricia Bright because she started a long time ago.
Ages ago.
A long time ago. So she talked about how she didn't have maybe a lot of viewers and all that. Like she just started small. This is just like Patricia reaping right now. Yeah, and we should understand that. We don't want to go through what she went through to get there, but we just want to get what she has now. She has all that she has now because she worked for it, right? So we have to be willing to work for it. So I think maybe the people in the, how do I say it, in those positions right now need to create awareness.
Yeah.
Let us know more of how you got to where you are now. Don't just paint the nice picture in our faces. I've heard her talk about it before on her YouTube. One of the
and it's hard
videos.
Because you don't want to. If I'm enjoying life now and I'm reaping every fruit, why am
I don't owe it to someone?
It shouldn't be. Which is why, it shouldn't. She shouldn't have to always keep revisiting the past.
I agree with that as well.
But like, I think if you cast a seed in the ground, you have to wait for it to. It's like, even Christianity aside, that's nature. Do you understand? Like, plant a seed. It's not gonna grow tomorrow. It's gonna take time. And we just need to apply that principle to it. Sometimes people have quick miracle or quick turnaround, and that's very much down to individual cases. And everybody wants their story to be like that, but it's extremely rare.
It's not always like that.
And it's nice as well. I think process is beautiful because in that you learn so much, in that you grow yourself, and then you can look back and reflect, and then you learn from it.
And then sometimes when you just get the success overnight, you may not even know how to control it.
Yeah, you can't appreciate it.
Because it's important to maintain what you have. What I mean is, Jackie Aina and Patricia Bright are still working daily to maintain what they have now. It's not like it's just there and all that. But since they've gone through a process, they know how to maintain it. It's like they're always doing something. They're always trying. And I know through the videos I do, they're not much, but I know that even thinking of a content is not easy. And they're always bringing content every time. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's not like some joke or something. So they actually put some amount of work into it. So maybe we should also concentrate on the work we're doing. And one day we'll also
because if you actually I didn't even think about that. Even just when Joanne was setting up, like, it wasn't just, I'm just gonna get in front of a camera and let's go. Like, there was stuff that she had to do. We have to think about the time of the day, or like, there's just loads of stuff. And I think if you're looking at it from the other side and just watching YouTube from your computer, you can think
they don't do anything. They just wake up and they are making money on YouTube. Basically. So it's always a process. So I think you should, the phrase that is very popular, trust the process. Trust the process. And know that you can't be in chapter 1 and just want to have what someone is having in chapter 50. No,
doesn't work.
Life doesn't work that way, right? So what about young lady, 2019, modern woman, independent woman, strong woman, education, relationship?
I don't know. What do I have to say about that? I think
because what I'm seeing now is like, there are a lot of strong women being produced. I don't know if that's the right word. A lot of strong women, or a lot of independent women, are coming up right now, because I guess this is just a generation where we were more stimulated as women or as girls to just do more and achieve more. And would you say that this affects our relationships?
No. Well, I mean, it could, but it depends on who you want to do a relationship with and what the mentality of that person is. God made Adam and Eve equally, so the same mandate he gave Adam, he gave Eve. the same mandate he gave boys, he gave girls. Go out, subdue the earth, replenish it.
Yeah.
I think, we're so lucky, we're so blessed. Like 50 years ago, we wouldn't be in YouTube would probably only be for boys.
Yeah, we'd be in the kitchen.
Yeah. So why not go and use the everything that you've been offered and given as an opportunity to further God's mission and whatever your purpose is, and then whoever you get with or want to be with, he should be able to complement that. Like I bring something to the table, you bring something to the table, and we make it work. Otherwise, I don't know. I think there are loads of not insecure. That's not nice. But I think it's a new age, right? So some people are not as comfortable.
Are you talking about the men?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. A lot of them are not comfortable. Yeah. I've heard people say that before.
Yeah, like
I don't want my wife to earn more than me.
Yeah, and I just think you have to see the bigger picture.
Yeah,
like, there's a bigger purpose. It's not just about me, and it's not just about you.
Yeah,
it's about whatever I've been called to do. So if he doesn't, sorry, I can't.
I would tell them, like, I mean, we're a team, so if whatever I do, if I'm bringing it, if it's big, it's for both of us. If it's small, it's for both of us. So we're a team, and we being independent or we trying to be independent does not mean that we do not respect you as men, right?
Definitely
that's two different things. I know there are some women who tend to cross boundaries and
they should.
I don't think that the fact that you're independent means that you have to look down upon a man because maybe he earns less because, I don't know, he's working as a civil servant or something, you know.
If you're fulfilling your purpose,
you know how it is if like you are like doing more, so you achieve more, like if like you're doing your own business or something, compared to someone who's like maybe a civil servant and maybe they have a salary that is fixed or something. I don't think it should be a problem. I know some people are going out of line, but I don't think that is the right thing. I feel an independent woman, being independent is different from being submissive or not. I don't know if people tend to mix that. The fact that someone is independent does not mean the person is not humble.
Yeah, exactly.
Two different things. Agree. I even think that the fact that I'm independent and I still like leave my things in your hand, that is submission. Submission is not necessarily me, I don't know, coming to serve you like the way maybe your mother served you at home. If I have the time to do something for you, cool. But submission is when it's more than that. Submission is when I can do it. You know I have the power, but I still give you the power to do something.
I was literally about to say that.
Yeah.
Literally. You took the words out of my mouth. No, definitely. I think my view on relationships is always purpose. So whatever, if I'm gonna be with you, then our purposes need to be aligned, which means that when we come together, I do what I'm supposed to do, you do it. It's like a complementary kind of thing. It's not separate. So
it's a teamwork. We're not competitors.
Exactly. Yeah,
we're together. So sometimes the man may even be chilled, but society won't allow him to be chilled. It's like, is your woman doing that really? And you allow her to do that.
And I guess that comes back down to identity. Whose opinion are you? Like, who are you living for? Because if you're living for the opinion of man, then man will tell you that, that structure doesn't add up. It doesn't quite, you know. But you knowing who you serve and who the person you serve.
Because if you know who you are, you won't allow yourself to be influenced. You know what it is you like in the person, and that's it. You know what she's like. You're in a room with her. You know her more than everyone else. So that's what matters. Yes. I think it shouldn't be a problem, right?
It shouldn't be.
Shouldn't be
Shouldn't be, exactly.
Yeah, cool. So, what about purpose? To conclude, I think that this will just close the whole conversation.
Purpose. I think everybody...
It's a bit of... Especially this age. I mean, me in my 20s, it's been like...
loads of things going on.
What am I going to do? What is going to happen to me? Will I find a job? Blah, blah, blah. I mean, just a lot of... And there are a lot of decisions to make as well. And I always say that whatever we decide to do now determines...
where we are,
what the next 10 years look like, next 20 years look like, your partner, all these things are decisions, are very important decisions. What job you want to do, where you want to. So like, how do you handle that personally, like in front of this whole, because you've stepped out of, like, you might still be in your parents' home, but you've stepped out of being directly under your parents where they make decisions for you or where they even help you. Sometimes you have to do it by yourself.
Yeah.
So you versus the world, how do you handle that with your purpose as well?
It's hard. Loads of prayer. I think everybody who God made has obviously got a specific... You're here for a reason, and every time you wake up, that's another chance to fulfill your purpose. And you're right, this is something that's even more apparent now. Like, once you finish uni, because even uni, like, that's such a big decision, but you still are influenced by, like, what your parents say, what your teachers say. And it's when you step out and you start doing... when you start working, and things like that. I think paying attention, like, what do you actually like what do you enjoy doing? I think, and then when you establish that, okay, and then from there, okay, I enjoy doing this, and actually, how does this benefit? Because for me, I always say my purpose needs to be bigger than me. Otherwise, I don't really think God brought me on the earth to only benefit myself. So my purpose needs to be bigger than me. So, okay, I enjoy doing this, and how does this actually help influence the world? How can this... it doesn't even have to be on a large scale, because sometimes we go too big and then we scare ourselves,
because we start looking at people like maybe
so it doesn't even have to be huge, but just somebody, whether it's your younger sister, a cousin, a person that you lives in your area, and you kind of go from there. And I think just knowing who you are, again, values, like, what do I... because you have to kind of know what you want from life. Like, I'm still even in that job, and I thought, yes, purpose, I get to make real impact. And I got there and I realized that everything that I thought I'd be doing, I'm not really doing. And I don't really want to do this anymore. Taking a step of faith and saying, okay, let me look so comfortable, reputable company, all of these things, but no, actually, this isn't how... I'm not 100% happy. I don't feel as fulfilled. I'm paying attention to that, because you can get very comfortable and feel like, oh, because I'm secure. And secure, even with my parents, I think security is a big thing for us all. When you're like in your 20s, you want to start establishing yourself. If it's that you want to buy a house, you want to buy a car, you start thinking about those things and start planning towards them. And your job, I guess, has to sort of line up and help you establish those things. And I know when I was looking for a new job, my parents were like, okay, you're looking for a new job, but you have a good job and you get paid a good way, you know, all these things. But it's not just about security. What makes your heart bleed?
Your
like,
passion.
what is your
really
passion?
like
What do you really like to do?
Because a lot of people will talk. A lot of people will think like, you know, especially in the African world, they're like, you will look nice. If you're a doctor.
It's like, great.
Like,
but
I don't like the hospital, or I don't like, you know, that kind of thing.
Too many of us have... our parents have made
to know what
so
you
many...
want as a person.
Because it's you that's living with it. Like, because
one thing I know for sure, I don't want to wake up, I don't want to struggle waking up in the morning like, oh my god, this week again. I don't want to do that.
You shouldn't have to.
For that reason, I just feel like, okay, let me choose what I'm comfortable with. Sometimes you may not know, this is also one thing, sometimes you may not know exactly what you want to do, and it's fine. It is fine. I remember I had that problem a couple of years ago, which means I had a general idea of
but
what...
not specific.
But you know the way, if I know I want to be a doctor,
you just go to med school.
If you want to be a nurse, you just go to that, you know? And then they have these kind of jobs where it's like, it's very broad, so you don't know exactly what you're going to do or something. It is fine. It's fine to not know exactly what you want to do, but still just with your... with the little goals you make, or the little decisions, following your passion, you eventually get to that thing that you want to do.
And I think as well, speaking to people, like I've in the past like few months, the amount of people that I've spoken to about their careers or their journeys and stuff, older than you, older counsel, that can really give you guidance and give you insight. So you hopefully don't make the same maybe mistakes that they've made. Where they've made a good decision, you can maybe replicate that. Having conversations, and people open doors. You'll be very surprised that you're speaking to someone and then they can say, oh, I know this person that can talk to you about this, and then all of a sudden things start beginning to align. So be open, have conversations.
So you can't figure it all out by yourself.
Exactly. We need people.
People. If there's someone around you that you look up to, you can always ask. It doesn't harm asking. Some will mind you. Most of them will mind you, actually. People want to talk, actually.
That's one thing I've realized. People love speaking about themselves. They love
and
it.
How they got... Because I remember when I was going through the phase, I was like, I really don't know. I went to tell actually daddy I actually told him, I really, it's like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know, will I get a job, you know? Because I remember when we started uni, my sister did nursing, and so I chose international relations, and someone would come and be like, oh, for sure your sister is going to get a job. About you, I'm not really sure. That kind of thing. It makes you very indecisive and all that. But he told me, just stick to what you want to do, stick to your passion, and you see that the picture will become clearer. As you're getting closer, it will become clear. So I think that's also very important. Talk to people if you can, share, ask questions. That is why we have adults around us. They are there to teach us, they are there to direct us. So make use of them. Right?
Guide, not tell you what to do. Just guide.
Yeah.
Because
Guide. Guide. Yeah. Okay. Is there anything you want to say to close this conversation?
What do I want to say? I think just find out who you are and just work towards becoming the person that you know you can be, because we don't have that much time on earth, and you just want to make sure that you make use of the time that you have, and helping people and being happy and stuff like that. Just invest in yourself, basically.
Also self-love.
Yes.
Self-love.
Yes.
And pay attention to yourself, your health. We are young now, but make sure we'll pay if we don't treat our bodies well. Our health, we'll pay for it later on.
There'll be impact.
So make sure every sector of your life is important to you. Maybe our parents did not have people to tell them all this when they were younger, but we are more informed. Don't ignore this. Don't ignore the information around. It's actually what is happening. So don't wait till you get there and then regret it. Pay attention to every sector of your life. Pay attention to your education, your choice of relationships, everything. Definitely. And I believe that with you preparing and God's help, with prayer, you will get to the person that you want to be. You will finally get to what I call my elements. Where you're comfortable, where you're happy, where you're fulfilled.
And also show love. Like love, I was speaking to someone this morning about love, the commandment to love your neighbor, and your neighbor doesn't have to be Joanne, who's my friend. It is literally the stranger because what that does is that we I don't know, we kind of empower people to believe that the world is still a good place. Like if someone's going through something, be that shoulder, be the listening ear that they need. And it doesn't have to be a burden. It can just be one conversation that changes their outlook, their perspective, and then they go on and fulfill purpose. So try and smile at people. And literally a smile can change the course of someone's day. So
okay, I guess we're done. Thank you for coming on board today.
No worries, thanks for having me.
Okay guys, thank you so much for listening. I hope you get something out of this. I hope it's helpful. Please remember to subscribe, share and like. Thank you so much. We love you.
Bye.